This is Tony Baker from NMTXSports.com, and I'm talking to head coach Greg Pointer of the Seminole Indians. Coach, I was there at that ball game this last Friday, and there's not much you can say about that ball game other than, Seminole defeated Denver City Mustangs 75-0. Give us your take on that.
Yeah, I was really happy with the way our kids came out. We had played really poorly for us the week before. And so we tried to go back and, I think I told you last week, we were just going to go back to what we do and try to be really good at what we do. And we had a great week of practice. I thought our kids responded really well. And, it was just nice in that game because, regardless of the score, we played really clean football on both sides of the ball. We didn't have any busts. We took care of the ball. We, offensively and defensively, really good assignment football, not making many mistakes. And it was just nice to see us, play a really good, clean football game the whole way through.
Coach, while I was there, I noticed that you got to play an awful lot of young kids.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that because, that is so big for us in games like that. And I always tell people, man, whether you're a starter or a backup for us, we're asking you to do the same thing, put in the same work, prepare the same way. And so it's so nice when you can get a game and everybody can play and, get a reward for all the work they put in. And that's another thing I was super proud of is, all the kids that came in, sometimes when you're mass substituting, the game starts getting really sloppy and, lining up trouble. But really both sides of the ball, I was really proud of our kids just coming in and really executing and doing a good job. I think we had like 8 different people score a touchdown, and that was nice. So I was really proud of our second group and our backups and the way they came in and played.
And I even think you had a freshman who scored a touchdown as well.
We did. He's quite a player, and he I think he got in the end zone 2 or 3 times. So I was really proud of him too. But just the whole group, I was really excited the way they played, and that's just some reward for all the work they've been putting in.
Well, Coach, when you have a young group, what can you do? You can't go out there and tell them not to score.
No, and that's what I tell people. And Denver City coaches, they were super nice, and I think they understood. But yeah, when we tell whoever's in the game, we expect you to go out and execute just like everybody else, and we try to practice that way. And we try not to change our offense and defense. When they're in, we try to run what we run on offense, and we try to run what we run on defense. And you never like to score to get totally out of hand. And I know you weren't there for the end, but a couple of those touchdowns came late because they snapped the ball over their punter's head twice, and we got the ball inside their 5 a couple of times to start drives late in the game. And we're not. You hate it when it gets that out of hand, but at the same time, like you said, we're trying really hard for our kids to be able to run our offense and run our defense, and they did, and that's a credit to our backups.
Well, Coach, I've got a question for you. This last Friday night, I saw you standing there as all those seniors were recognized.
Yeah.
What's your thought? What was your thoughts going? I've got a photo of you, and it looks like you're looking at them, and you were thinking about something.
Oh yeah, honestly, Tony, and I didn't even know you were there, and I'd love to see that photo. I really would. But I tell you what I was thinking about. And you get so close to your seniors, you always do. But this group in particular, this is probably the best senior class I've ever had, and I'm not talking just athletic wise, but just what kind of kids they are. How hard they work. the character of them, and I just love this senior class, and I was just thinking, man, I'm going to miss them, and I don't know, I don't know how much longer I have, and I may never have another group like that again. But I think I was mostly thinking, I was just thankful that I've got a chance to coach these guys.
Coach, that photo of you is up on NMTX Sports, and so
Oh, good.
you can pull it up and you can see all the photos because, I mean, your defense was just playing unreal that game.
Oh, yeah, they were very aggressive, playing really fast. I was really excited for our defense, for sure.
Coach, this coming Friday, October the 3rd, you will be away playing the Hereford White Faces. Hereford has defeated Lubbock High 42-35, and they've lost to Estacada 35-33. They've lost to Plainview 41-39. They've lost to Perryton 38-28, but they've been in every ball game.
Every single game, Estacado beat them on the very last play of the game. The Plainview just beat Lubbock Cooper. And, that was a really, 41-39, super close game. Every game they've played has been very competitive and very close. They're a really good football team. And, they got a quarterback that's a Division I. I think he's going to University of Texas on a baseball scholarship, a great athlete. They got a huge O-line, something that's given us, trouble in the past. They got a big, strong running back, runs really hard. And then defensively, they've got a linebacker who's as aggressive as any guy we've played this year. So, we know we're going to have to play really well, and we haven't played very good on the road. We're 3-0 at home. We're 0-2 on the road, and so we've got to figure that out. We've got to play better on the road, and we're going to have to play better on the road if we want to get a win this week because they're a really good football team.
Well, Coach, we appreciate the opportunity to talk with you and wish you, your coaching staff, and the Seminole Indians the very best of luck this coming Friday, October the 3rd, when you'll be on the road playing the Hereford White Faces there in Hereford at 7:00 p.m.
Hey, man, I appreciate you, Tony, and I appreciate everything you do for high school sports.
Thank you.